What's up, guys? Welcome back to Viewer Castles. Today we're going to start off with Harmonious Lex. Castle level's a 30, validated on an archer here. These little circle things are a bug that was brought upon this patch. A couple people have already been reporting. I don't know if it affects everybody, but it's affecting me. Basically, every loading bar that comes up stays on your screen for some reason. So they're just going to be there and be kind of annoying. Not much I can do about it. We'll jump into this castle though. Looks like he attacked me, so I get a revenge. So that actually won't cause me to use one of my targeted attacks, which is nice. I'm able to record a few more today, since I do have quite a bit of time on my hands to record. For today and a little bit of tomorrow, I should have an hour or so. But either way, nice little entry room with a lot of ballistic traps, ton of trap pressure. There's no creatures keeping me here, so basically the only thing that this tells me is that I can't backtrack and fight anything really inside of this room. So we're just gonna kind of jump in here. I'm probably I'm gonna get thrown this way because that's just. Hold on, let me see if I can try not to die. Okay, so then this is just gonna be the boss room. If I can get a potion up, I might be able to survive this, but it's unlikely. Let's see. I might be able to get my potion. Alright, there. So I got my potion. Now everything is pretty much just going to be attacking me. And I ended up dying, yeah. It's really hard for me to fight these castles when I'm 2 levels under, because it's just based on, damage and stuff. I'll just heal up. I know some people are saying that you, lose a lot of crowns or whatever if you heal, or you, lose twice the amount of crowns. I don't really care. I've stopped trying to go for crowns because it's just going to be impossible for me to do that. Because, everybody can attack me since I have so many people on my friends list. And if I get too low, I end up gaining crowns either way because a lot of people have more crowns than me. So I hover around the anywhere between 600 and 1,000 crowns on a daily basis. But there's not really much to say about this castle. It's just a lot of creatures in the boss room, and then that one spot where if you kite them back to the entrance, you might be able to do it, but you'll probably use a lot of potions doing so. And it's really just about killing this stuff off. 3 minutes is actually a pretty long timer, to be honest, for an all-in-the-boss room strategy. You can see, I died once, but I probably, if I hadn't died, would have been able to get 3 stars on this. So I'm wondering if there's some specific way that he did this, so that he could do it easier, but a little bit slower. I'm wondering if you could pull it from that room through all of those traps with a headshot or a volley or something like that. It is sometimes possible to set something up like that, because headshot goes through goes farther than the screen actually shows. It'll keep going and it'll hit something off screen slightly. So if you're standing all the way down there, maybe you can headshot one of these Defendatrons or Megamuttons or something and pull some of it through and kill that off and start segmenting it up a little bit. Not really sure, but either way, it's a pretty standard all-in-the-boss room style castle that makes it so it's a little bit harder to go back to the entrance, kite back and forth like that, which is kind of what you have to do if you set up these castles this way. But yeah, we'll jump into number 2 in just a second. Alright, next up we have Regtail. Castle level's a 27, has a level 27 archer that they validated it with. Pretty high hit points, lower DPS than me, but hit points are more important, I think, than DPS nowadays, so let's jump into it. Level 27 means all of his creatures will be level 26 or below. So it should be a little bit easier than me, basically the same buffs that creatures get when, they're level 30 against level 28, I get those same buffs against level 26 creatures. Alright, so we have one of these rooms. It's really mistake to try to fight this inside of this room. I'll try to do it just because I'm a little over leveled here, but it is very difficult. You should try to kite this into another room if you don't want to take a bunch of damage, because it's too hard to actually kill a Pete Poundmore without taking a substantial amount of damage if he's your level. I mean, he was 4 levels under me, basically. He was level 24, so it was a lot easier for me. Alright, this is again another springboard trap into kind of not a ton of damage. It wasn't going to kill me. That's pretty cool. There's a lot of weird little springboard traps here. I don't know how much their effectiveness is, but it's not bad. I mean, it works. Alright, I wasted that headshot. It did give me a stun, but that's about it. Alright, there we go. It seems like they made the items' names bigger. I think I remember these being smaller. Maybe I'm just being crazy, but it seems like that might have been a change that they made. So I mean, this is a pretty good room. It has a good amount of sustained damage inside of it, with the IMAXs and then a bunch of traps as well. You could probably have a little bit more trap pressure in these corners though. You might even want to remove some of these springboard traps because I'm not sure how much they actually do. A lot of them just throw you into those ballista traps, but they're pretty easy to see. So they're pretty easy to avoid. Alright, this is a fire mine trap, so I need to be a little careful here. Actually, if I was smart, which I wasn't, I should have used traps back there to gain myself some stun immunity and make it so I wouldn't have taken damage anyway. But these fire mine traps have been nerfed this patch, so fire mine traps are going to be a lot harder to make. They're going to be bigger point investments, and you're not going to die nearly as much. It might even be impossible. I haven't tested it enough, but it might be impossible to get the amount of damage needed in that small area with the blasting radius being nerfed so heavily. Which, I mean, you can think it's a good or a bad thing. I mean, it's removing a strategy from the game, and they added a little bit with the last patch, but not a ton. I mean, there's not much you can do. The fact that creatures give less health globes is good. It changes the game up a little bit, but I'm not sure that it's enough where you can start using different creatures. I think you're going to just have a lot more creature spam in general, rather than like fire mine traps and other traps, setups, and stuff. Alright, so another fire mine trap. I'm kind of interested to see if they can actually kill you at max life, so I'm gonna just heal up and let it like try to kill me, unless it throws me backwards. No, it doesn't. Yeah, see, it's not what it used to be. These things might be level 24, but even with that, it's just not dealing enough damage because the circles are so much smaller. It used to be if you landed in the middle of this, all of these traps would hit you, but I think the outer ones are just not going to hit anymore. So I'm not sure if fire mines can actually kill anyone at this point. I'm really unsure of that. I'm at the level where I don't need to use them anymore to really get kills. I think at like level 22, people are going to start to have a few problems defending. You know, level 20, 22, 24 sometimes is where you don't quite have enough defense points to get through 4 potions, but there's nothing else that you can do to like instantly kill someone besides a fire mine trap, so it's really hard to defend your castle. But yeah, I mean, that's the main issue with this castle, I think, is fire mines just got nerfed and there's 2 of those trapped in here, so you'll probably want to take a look at that, change it up, and it'll be a lot better for you. I mean, it still used 3 potions, although I used one of them just because I wanted to test how much damage one would do, so I would probably have ended with 2 potions. So that's not bad, considering the 2 potions were from the non-fire mine trap part of your castle. You could remove the rest of it and maybe make another room, and it might be able to kill some people. Also, me being 2 levels over, so is also helpful. So let's jump into number 3 in just a second. And lastly, we have Aboodd. Castle level is a 29, validated on this mage here. Yeah, not too much else to say, so let's jump into it. Alright, we have this winter theme. Pretty nice. I've actually noticed, like, at first when this winter theme came out and Open Creation came out, I thought that that springboard traps were kind of easy to see on here, but I've been noticing more and more that it's actually a little bit harder, and it might be one of the better themes. I don't know why it just randomly started getting harder for me to notice them. I don't know if they, like, updated it visually or anything, but maybe certain rooms don't have these, like, chunks of ice randomly in it, because it's kind of like the springboard traps are smooth on these. I'm not sure. If I see one in this castle, I'll point it out. Alright, so it kind of looks like a maze to start off with. I mean, I'm just kind of going through. There's not really anything here, but I've left so many corners back there unexplored that, like, it's very easy for me to be missing mines or anything like that. So if I find the right part of the castle, the like correct way to go, I'll probably have to go back and explore it and waste some time. As you can see, I'm already a minute in, about halfway through the timer. This is kind of one of those castles where you either get it right the first time, or you have to play it again if you want to 3-star it, which is good. It does leave yourself a lot of room to be kited back though, So once I stop worrying about the timer, which is already the case right now, is I'd rather just get 2 stars, because if I rush forward, I'll probably have a higher chance of dying. You can use these empty rooms to kite things back very easily. But we'll see how the castle's set up, you know, like this is going to be hard to go through again. Alright, so we have a fire mine trap. It looks like it only has 3 springboard traps to it, but it's very hard for me to see. It looks like that's only 3 springboard traps. So I'm going to try to just go through it. We'll see what happens. I'm going to look for some Cyclopses around the edge. Again, like I said, time isn't really an issue at this point. I don't see any Cyclopses. So let's try to do this correctly. I'm going to take a little bit of damage, but hopefully I'm just going to be able to... Okay, so there's the Cyclopses. I did survive through it because fire mines have been nerfed so heavily that I'm not even sure it's possible when you're at full life to be killed by them. Unless you have really low hit points, and I even have low hit points comparatively speaking. But yeah, I was looking for those Cyclops because I figured that would be the only thing that could keep you inside of here. Because with 3 springboard traps right here, these are the 3, and that's why it's kind of difficult to see that these are springboard traps, because there's no like indentation showing that they're there. It's just kind of flat land with snow on top of it. But there's no ice particles. That's the main thing that you have to see, is these chunks right here. There's none of those on springboard traps, and I think they're on almost every other piece of floor that there is. I mean, I guess there's some areas where there's not as much, but if you look for that, that's kind of the easy way to see it. There's still a Cyclops back here, I believe, but I'm just going to zoom out and just keep going. He'll follow me eventually. Alright, there he is. He's running away. Okay. Alright, so it looks like probably another fire mine trap. No, it's going to be something different. I might actually be able to pull this. Yeah, so I'm able to pull this back, make it go through at least some of these traps, although ballistas won't fire at them. That's why ballistas are so good, is that they don't automatically try to fire at your creatures. And that's kind of why rotating fire traps aren't nearly as good as they used to be. So I'll be able to kill this a little bit easier in a room that's probably not so full of traps. There's only like 1 ballista that I have to worry about here. These guys have the potential to do a ton of damage, though. You have to be careful. Like you saw, I had to potion there because I got hit by like 3 or 4 of the bolts. Alright, the rest of this I'm not going to worry too much about it. I'm just going to go. Lots of these Stairmasters. Actually, a scary amount of them. So what I have to do is try to pick off little groups of them. And I ended up getting too many, so I'm just gonna have to aggro all of it then. There's not much else I can do. I'll just aggro the entire room and try to kite them backwards. They're gonna teleport all around as I deal damage to them. Hopefully, as long as I keep moving, I won't get hit by too many. So if you can stay out of range of them, you know, they won't shoot you. And that's kind of the archer's strong point, is he has a lot of really high range abilities. That is basically like everything on screen. You know, volley, you can cast it anywhere you can see basically, and then headshot goes a little bit past the edge of the screen. So with a lot of room to maneuver, you can pretty much kill anything as long as there's nothing to stop your movement. You have to constantly be able to dodge. If something locks you down, like, I don't know, like a webmaster is one that I really have a lot of trouble with. In these all in the boss room type things where there's a ton of creatures, a webmaster can knock you down and you can just take a Zeke shot and die instantly. So, same thing would happen if you had something that could knock me down here. But yeah, pretty good castle. There's no way I was going to beat the time limit on this without going like the correct way first, and then even still, it's pretty difficult to fight that room in 2 minutes and 15 seconds. So it's pretty good. That's the end of this video because we did number 3. So if you guys want to be part of viewer castles, you can email me at frenzycastleruns@hotmail.com. Taking level 20 and above castles. Again, I have to update my list. Still have, it looks like, about 3 more castles that I have to do, but I'll be updating my list in the next couple of days because of that. So update my list the next couple of days. You can find that list in the description as well. That's pretty much it. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.